What's up, family? This your favorite cousin Rich, back once again. And this is episode 29 of Rich Talks. And today's episode is going to be about the flow of life. You know, flow, just flow. Flow, flow. See, even the word flow, it flows. There I go, defining a word with the word. But the word flow, you see how at ease the word is, flow, how smooth it is. It's not rough. It's not aggressive. It's just flow. And that's what flow is. Flow is ease. Flow is not aggressive. Flow doesn't try too hard. See, it's the Taoist philosophy called Wu Wei. W-U and then W-E-I. Wu Wei. And it means effortless action or non-doing. It's really just going with the flow at ease. That's where the term going with the flow, going with the flow, going at ease, just being, let it be, go with it, allow the path of least resistance. See, there's a natural flow of the universe. It just goes, it flows, it's at ease. And then there's a flow that us humans tend to want to attach to on our own timing. And that's where we get hang-ups, caught up, stuck, angry, where we try to rush, is when we try to go with our own timing. That's why a lot of manifestations don't happen. That's why people are angry. That's why people are impatient. That's why when people are waiting for something to come in, they may be in anxiety or depression about that certain thing because they're not present, they're not allowing, they're not in flow. Like I said, the universe has this divine timing where everything is divine. Everything is going to come in occurrence when it is supposed to, according to the universe. And when you submit and you allow for that to happen in your life, life tends to end up pretty much better. Haven't you noticed there was a day where you had everything planned and there was an obstacle, and the obstacle kind of threw a monkey wrench in your plan, and you couldn't seem to get back on track, back in alignment with that day, and now you felt the day was ruined, or you felt unaccomplished? That monkey wrench was sent for you to get into flow with the universe, believe it or not. That monkey wrench was sent for you to relax and to be in flow. And the reason why that day felt so topsy-turvy, or that day felt unaccomplished, was because according to your timing, according to the flow state that you wanted to have, it was compromised by that monkey wrench that was placed upon. But if you surrendered to that monkey wrench and worked around it, or utilized it to lighten the load, or move things to another day, or go about your list or your task that you had set another way, instead of being so gun-ho on how you had to accomplish it, you would have been in submission to the universe, and the day might have actually turned out better. Haven't you noticed when you just go with the flow of things, things tend to turn out better? Another thing, like a river. When water is still, that's when diseases, mold, things start living in the water. Like you ever see a pond that doesn't move, doesn't flow? Things start growing in there. And then when you see a flowing river, a river that's just continuously flowing and flowing and flowing, they say you can go there and drink directly from the river. It's clean. Even when you see artificial water placements and things of that sort, artificial waterfalls and things, is that water ever still? That water's always moving. See? It's clear, it's clean. It's always moving. It's in flow, continuous flow. And when you look at one that's not working, or you look at a pool, what happens? You start seeing bacteria growing in it. So we equate that with the flow of life. When you are at surrender and you flow with life, it's cleaner, it's easier. You get more out of it. Then when you don't go with the flow, what happens? It starts to turn poisonous. I always say the universe knows more than we do. The divine knows more than we do. So it would behoove us to surrender to the universe and allow it to guide us, especially when it comes to things like divine timing. I'm a big fan of divine timing. 100% believe in it. There may be times where I'm getting ready to do something simple, like go to the gym. And I have certain tasks that I complete or a routine that I have before I go to the gym to get started. And some days, I may want to spend more time doing this one thing before I go to the gym, or I may just relax a little bit more, or, switch something up. But it was divinely guided, So either a monkey wrench got thrown in my plan where I had to take a little bit extra time, and in my mind, I want to rush it. I'm like, no, I have to be on a set time. And then something in me was like, no, relax. And those times where I tell myself, relax, and I go with the flow, and I either work around that obstacle or I just take my time because something's telling me to just take my time and relax. I'll either run into somebody who I haven't seen in a long time or have an amazing conversation, or something will happen. Somebody will gift me something, or I'll just have a better day at the gym. This is just a small example. I have a better day at the gym where it'll probably be somewhat empty how I like it. A couple people, but, it's pretty much empty. So you get to just move around freely, But it'll seem like the universe blesses me when I surrender to the divine timing. Like I said, I'll either run into somebody I haven't seen in a long time and we'll have an amazing conversation. Somebody will gift me something, the gym will be empty. Something will work in my favor to where I would be like, thank you. And I'm pretty sure it's happened in your life too, where you wanted to rush something and you didn't rush. You allowed the flow and it worked out better in your favor. Or a time where you were in a rush to go somewhere and something happened, a monkey wrench happened, so you had to take your time. And then you pull out and you go down the street that you normally go, but you were in a rush, and then boom, what do you see? An accident. How many times has that happened? You saw an accident and you say, damn, had I was, stuck to my plan or left when I was supposed to leave, that would have been me. How many times has that happened? You see? So I 100% believe in divine, the flow, of life. It's only us that throws a monkey wrench in it. Well, also, you have to believe that the universe wants you to prosper and not to be hurt. The universe is not trying to punish you. And I think a lot of times, the reason why we don't surrender, or a lot of times we go against the universe, is because we believe all these times where things haven't worked out for us or this and that we're being punished by the universe. Why would the universe want to punish you? If you look at the universe like your parent, why would your parent want to punish you unless you've done something to deserve punishment? So as a human, what have you done to deserve punishment? If you look at it in this sense, if we're all babies and a baby messes up, you don't ridicule a baby, well, in a healthy environment. You don't ridicule a baby. You don't punish a baby for messing up. You guide the baby to do better. You help the baby out of that state that they're in and encourage them to move forward. So if we do that with our children, our babies, why wouldn't the universe do that with you? Why would the universe punish you? So if you have that mindset that the universe is punishing you, then guess what? That's either how it's going to play out for you, or your mind is going to be so stuck on that that's all that you can see. And the reason why I went on that small little tangent about how you feel about the universe is because if you are able to have a positive mindset about the universe, if you're able to have a positive mindset about divine and divine timing, and that these monkey wrenches or the times that we're supposed to take extra time and we don't need to be so gun-ho on, A to B to C to D, and we should just relax and let everything flow. If you have a positive relationship with the divine, then it's easier for you to relax. It's easier for you to submit. It's easier for you to relinquish control and allow the universe to do for you. But if you don't, that's when you're going to continuously run into roadblocks after roadblocks after roadblocks after roadblocks. Life is going to be much more harder and harder and harder. And that's where you're going to continue ingraining that mindset in you that the universe is punishing you and doesn't want you to prosper. That's why I say it's very, very beneficial for you to have a positive mental attitude, especially towards the divine. The divine is here for you to prosper. Have you ever been so engulfed in a task that you lose track of time? You have become one with the divine. You have become one with the universe. You have become one with the flow state. That's what the flow state is. Where you do a task and all of a sudden the time is up. Even me recording these walking talks, these 30-minute philosophy things that I come up with in my head and just want to talk about. Even these things. At first, when I first started, 30 minutes seemed like a long time. Now, the first 5 minutes I'm in flow, and I look up, the timer, it's 30 minutes past. And if you look at the past couple of videos, none of them stop at 30 minutes. It's 31, 32, 33. Why? Because I've been in flow for the past 25, 27 minutes. Because I relinquished the thought about how long this is going to be. I relinquished the thought about this and that, and I just surrendered and I go. I let it flow. Even look at basketball players, their best games. When they have 40 points, they have triple doubles, 40 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and they attribute it to what? The flow state. They was just in flow. I was just in flow. I was just going. They surrendered and they went along with the flow of the universe. This flow is something serious. So you say, how do you get to the flow state? You want to achieve the superpowers that the divine is giving out. How do you get to the flow state? I say easy. First, you have to relax. First, you have to surrender. Relax, surrender. You have to let go of negative mindsets. You have to allow. And then you have to do. And get lost in the do. Don't think about anything else. The moment when you think about something else, it takes you out of that flow. It's like a running water and you throw a rock in it. That's what other thoughts can do when you're in the flow state. It can throw like a rock in it. And now you're hopping out of flow. That basketball player that got that triple-double, he wasn't thinking about anything else. He wasn't thinking about his problems at home, if he has any, or his kids, or financial. He wasn't thinking about any of that. All he was thinking about was right there, present at the game. The flow state is one of the best things that you could be in. Because now you're working hand in hand, one and two, with who? The divine, the universe, God. Look at everything out here. Everything goes with the flow. Like I said, sometimes I believe our consciousness is something that can hold us back. Sometimes I believe we're too smart for our own good. And we don't, and because of our intelligence, because of our consciousness, because of these things, we don't allow the divine, we don't allow God to really play a hand or really let God and the divine do what it's supposed to do. Like I said, why? Because we're too conscious, we're too intelligent. Even, sidestep, even when we look at the economy of today, and we look at the elections, we look at all these political groups, we look at all these systems and all these things, that's going on, taking place, the elites ruling and all this, the rich people, whatever. If we look at all this, and if you're not a part of the 1% or 5% or whoever, and you say, what's going on? I don't know how I'm going to survive, right? If you're in that boat of trying to survive and you're a person saying, you're not making it, you're barely making it, what do we do? Surrender. That's what you do. You surrender. You let it flow. You let it happen. You don't go against it. You go with it. If there's no job, say, okay. You either create your own or you sit there and you be peaceful. You don't complain. You don't cry. You be peaceful about it. Allow the universe to work. You don't have no money? Say, okay. I'll do anything and everything I can, and I would just allow me not having any money to take place right now. You never know what experience that's going to bring. You never know what mindset that you can graduate to. You never know anything. You never know why the universe is working the way it's working right now. Surrender. Let it, allow it. You lost your job, allow it. Now that you lost your job, now you're able to think about, business ventures you've been wanting to achieve. Now you're less stressful. Now these beautiful things are happening because you lost your job. And you're going and flowing and you are allowing it. Versus you lost your job, now you're pulling out your hair, you don't know this, you don't know that, you're stressed, You're not going with the flow. Now you're crying to your boss, now you're trying to get your job back, you're not going with the flow. Allow. Go with the flow. Submit. And this is why, sidestep again, when we talk about submission, even in relationships, and people say, oh, I'm not submitting to people, I'm not submitting to him, I'm not submitting to her, Submission is a beautiful thing, number one, because we all submit to God as well. So if you don't submit, then, Number two, submission is also beautiful if you trust the person you're submitting to. That is the ultimate form of trust. That's what submission is. Submission is trust. I trust you to XYZ. I trust you to lead. I trust you in whatever endeavor you're taking on. And I will help you. I will allow you to guide me. I can help you. I'm allowing myself to help you. That's what submission is. It's not some get down and wash my feet and cook me this. No, that's not submission. So now when you take that aspect of trust of submission and you put it in the aspect of the divine now, and now you're allowing the divine to what? Guide you. Now you're saying to the divine, I trust you to guide me. As if a woman would tell her man, I submit to you. Why? Because now she trusts him to guide her to where? The promised land. This is why women didn't, this is another tangent. This is why women didn't want to vote. They didn't want to vote because they didn't want to have that social pressure of leading. They'd rather sit back and relax. And they trusted their men to make the proper decisions. This is why women didn't want to vote. Every woman didn't want to vote. That wasn't a big thing. It was only certain women who wanted to vote, and they fought for that. And they knew that they could manipulate at that point the women at that point to sway more votes. But originally, women didn't want to vote because that comes with pressure. That comes with leadership. But so I step back to where I was about submission. If you believe in submission, you allow trust. That's what it is. So now we put it back with divine, and you submit to the universe, you submit to the divine. Now what happens? You saying, I trust, and now it leads you. So when it throws that monkey wrench, you say, I trust that monkey wrench that it threw, and I'm going to allow myself to flow. And whatever task that was supposed to get done, whatever you're supposed to get done, you don't do it. Or you work around it. And watch how it benefits you. Watch how you see something you weren't, see something that you weren't, that you were surprised to see. Meet somebody, walk into somebody, anything. Amazing things happen when you release control. That's where the beauty of life happens. When you allow the divine. But once again, a lot of people don't allow the divine. Why? Because they don't trust. They'd rather be in control. Flow is a beautiful word. Flow is something beautiful. Don't be so gun-ho that you think you know that you don't allow. Because when you don't allow, now you're telling the universe you don't trust. And when you don't trust, you're on your own. So have you ever seen a baby that was on their own? Were they able to make it? Were they able to survive? No. Same thing. Imagine a baby being out in the middle of New York City all by themselves. Do you think that baby's going to be able to survive? No. It needs guidance. It's the same thing as us. We're babies in this giant world. We need guidance. The guidance is that flow. You don't go against the flow. You don't sit still. You allow it to flow. You allow it. You just allow. That's literally it. Just allow. Once you release control and allow, your life changes. When you start saying, wasn't meant to be, and you don't force things, that's when beautiful things happen. Even when it's talking about, I'm going to break this down even to a sense of when you're courting someone, dating someone, talking to someone. And this is for guys too. And you're interested in you're interested in being intimate with this person. You're thinking about physically being intimate with this person. And because that's all you can think about, you're not allowing the natural flow and progression of this relationship where you're just talking, becoming friends, knowing one another, really releasing the control of having that physical intimacy on your time. Now you have a premeditated reason for speaking with this person and everything in your actions. Everything's premeditated. You're not allowing the flow of conversation. You're not allowing the flow of this relationship to see if this is even a person you want to be physically intimate with. So you rush and rush and rush. And guess what happens? A bad outcome happens. You either don't get the opportunity to become physically intimate because you rushed the process and you didn't allow it the proper time. You didn't allow the actual natural flow of things to happen. Or you had the physical intimacy, but it wasn't what you expected because you didn't allow the flow. Or that was it, and it would never happen again because you rushed the process. But haven't you noticed the times where you just relax and talk and you wipe that physical intimacy out of your head, no premeditated notions, and you just relax and get to know a person? That's where the most beautiful relationships are born. Because you allowed to go with the flow. You didn't have any premeditated notions or anything of that sort. You just allowed things to what? Flow. F-L-O-W. Flow. That's what happens when you allow things to flow, just naturally happen. When you try too hard to be with this person, guess what happens? It never works out, right? It never, it's like you're fighting against stream. It's like you're running up, it's like you're going uphill. It's difficult. You're not allowing things to what? Flow. But you meet somebody and everything is just what? Flowing. Flowing good. Flowing like a beautiful river. That's where the magic happens. No pun intended. But that's where the magic happens, when you allow the flow. Where there's no resistance. Release to the flow. Release control. When things don't happen your way, say, huh, okay. When things are becoming difficult, say, hey, okay, I release. When you feel yourself trying too hard, say, huh, okay. When things are happening on your timing, say, huh, okay, I release. I'll go with the flow. And watch how your life turns out. It may not necessarily be the exact desired outcome that you had, but the desired outcome that you have may not have been the correct one. Might not have been the most beneficial one. So let's not have a necessarily desired outcome. And I lean more into a desired feeling. I'm not the type of person who necessarily weighs heavily on a desired outcome. I weigh heavily more on a desired feeling. Now, visually, it may be things that I hope come to pass when it's a desired outcome, yes. But ultimately, I know it's the desired feeling. You may want a BMW, but ultimately, you end up in a Benz. But the desired feeling is still the same when you're driving that vehicle. You might have wanted this girl over here, but you ended up with this girl over here. But the desired feeling that you have in that relationship is still what? The same. It's the desired outcome, the desired feeling is still the same. So that's how I weigh it. But the easiest and the best way to get that desired outcome and that desired feeling is how? Release, allow, flow. That's the greatest way. When you release control, you allow the universe, and you submit. That's where the beauty happens. I continuously say it. And this is not just me from reading some book or studying some philosophy. No, this is real life. I picked up on those things along my journey, yes, but this is real life. This is how I know the universe works. Like I say, our intelligence and our consciousness doesn't allow it. But if you look at the birds, they go with the wind. When it gets cold, what do? They fly south because they know it's hotter. They don't sit where it's cold and say, oh, we gotta survive, we gotta make it because this is our home. No, they say, oh, it's cold, let's go. As soon as it gets cold, they go. Everybody allows and releases. And like I said, that's why I believe our consciousness or our intelligence could somewhat be our downfall. But it can also help you because now you're able to think and envision and imagine and create more. And when you're able to do that and you work in tandem with the universe and allow flow, now you're on a whole bigger level. So allow flow. Allow things to just happen. Don't have so much control to where you miss out on life, where you miss out on blessings, where you miss out on great things. That's where the beauty of happen. That's where the beauty of life happens. Is where you allow. Great talk. Remember, allow flow and watch how your life changes. Allow the flow. Submit to the universe. Allow the divine to be in control. And you sit back and you relax and you just enjoy life as it comes. Hope this message helps somebody. It's your favorite cousin. Episode 29 of Rich Talks. The flow of life. The beauty of flow. Hope this helps somebody today. This your favorite cousin. I said that already. I'm going to say it again. Y'all be safe. Love and blessings.